Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again, as always. Right, guys, it should come as no surprise to anyone that me, you, and the rest of the British public have been lied to, not only by the government, you understand, but also by Merseyside police, particularly when it comes to the subject of that evil son of a bitch who stabbed to death 3 little girls at a Taylor Swift dance class in Southport back in July, among other little girls, I might add. Now, thankfully, mercifully, those little girls managed to pull through and survive this ordeal. But according to Sky News, an article that was written yesterday, the original story that we were spun from the police and from the government has been blown right out of the water. A teenager accused of stabbing 3 girls to death in Southport faces a separate terror charge. After police said a biological toxin and an Al-Qaeda training manual were found in search of his home. Now, let me ask you this one question here, guys, right, before we go any further. If the original story that we were spun when this happened was to be true, that this young child, as he's portrayed to be, who was born in Wales, Christian raised, churchgoer, choir boy, an extra in Doctor Who, all the rest of that shebang. If that was true, what on God's green earth would he be doing with an Al-Qaeda manual and the means to make ricin? I'm sure you all know what ricin is, particularly if you've all seen Breaking Bad. But if you don't know, it's a very, very potent, deadly poison that could easily be used in some kind of terror attack in a very crowded place, even, say on a bus or on a train, somewhere like that. What would he be doing with such implements? Well, I'll tell you what he'd be doing with such implements. He was a Muslim convert. Nothing to do with Christianity or any of this bullshit that they tried to push on us. We have been lied to. We have had information kept from us, key information. I'll get onto that very, very shortly after I just read a bit more of this horse shit. Axel Rudbakana, stupid bloody name, 18, he's from Lancashire now. So we've gone from Rwanda to Wales, and now we've gone to Lancashire. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you this for nothing. This arsehole is not from Lancashire. I'm Lancashire, born and bred. We don't breed people like this. We don't breed people who go around stabbing children to death. That I can assure you. Had already been charged with 3 counts of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder following the mass stabbing at a Taylor Swift-themed dance workshop in July. At a briefing today, Chief Constable Sarah Kennedy from Merseyside Police said the teenager now faces 2 further charges related to evidence obtained by police following searches of his home after the attack. She said he now faces 1 charge of production of a biological toxin, namely ricin, contrary to Section 1 of the Biological Weapons Act 1974. He also faces a terror charge of possession of information likely to be useful to a person committing or preparing an act of terrorism, contrary to Section 58 of the Terrorism Act. However, the police, and I'll get this, guys, here. However, the police have not declared the events of 29th of July a terrorist incident. Even though it's all there, they have found the evidence within his house, they still cannot bring this person to be charged with a terrorist incident. That baffles me. It really does. He literally has a manual from Al-Qaeda, a terrorist organization, well, God knows what's in it, probably how to make bombs, improvise stabbing weapons, anything to do with terror-related incidents will be in that manual, and particularly by making a biological weapon such as ricin that could potentially kill hundreds of people. Now, I'll tell you the reasons why this has been covered up. You'll know the reasons, but I'm just going to tell you anyway, right? The reasons this were covered up is simply to keep up the fairy tale notion that a certain religion could not possibly be responsible for barbarity, murder, chaos and violence. That's the only reason this has been kept by the British public. But we're not stupid, you see. We knew from day one when this happened what kind of person would commit such a tragedy, what kind of person would go around and mass stab children. We all knew and we all said. And what did Keir Starmer do during that time? He called everyone racists. He called everyone Islamophobic. He called everyone bigots and started locking people up for stipulating these facts, when in actual fact, they were spot on. Wayne O'Rourke, prime example, got sent to prison for 3 years for saying that this motherfucker was a Muslim terrorist. Is he going to get a reprieve? Is he going to get a pardon? Is he going to get an apology? I highly doubt it. And you know why? Because Keir Starmer would lose fucking face. It's as simple as that. The government and the police cannot withhold key information such as this when something like this happens. We need to be protected. We are number one priority, not the image of the government, not the image of the fucking police force, and not the image of a certain fucking religion. We are number one. We deserve to know who's dangerous. We deserve to know the truth because we are the ones with targets on our backs. We are the ones that get attacked. We are the ones that get fucking murdered. It's bang out of order, and someone needs to be held to account for this. This cannot go on. This cannot happen again. We deserve to know. It's as simple as that. That's my video, guys. I'm sorry for ranting. I'm sorry for shouting. I'm sorry for getting angry. But this is absolutely ludicrous. Like I say, people have been locked up simply for stating what everyone else knew. And one more thing before I depart, guys. If the police and the government chose to give us the correct information, it would stop misinformation. It would stop fake news. It would stop people jumping to conclusions if they just told the fucking truth for once. Tell me what you think in the comments, guys, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.